All right, let's try that again. I just recorded 5 minutes worth of commentary about the good, bad, and the ugly for Call of Duty, and I didn't realize my mic wasn't recording. Feels bad, man. But anyways, welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to be going over the good, bad, and ugly for the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta that we just had. It ended today. Beta, I found a lot of fun, but also frustrating at the same time, and we're going to kind of go in depth, especially once we get to the bad and ugly section, when we're talking about all the different the fun things throughout the beta that we had. Just like as a TLDR, I thought it was good, but there's definitely a lot of things that need to be changed or fixed, in my opinion. But let's get right into it, though. Biggest thing that we all know, the Omni Movement. The movement felt great. The movement felt smooth. I haven't felt a smooth Call of Duty like this in a fat minute, like a fat minute. And it's like it feels arcadey again. Is what I like about it. But there's gonna be downsides with the Omni Movement, unfortunately, because it's gonna be even more sweaty, which is gonna put a damper on it a little bit. But I think the Omni Movement is something new. It's something actually good for the game, in my opinion. But I just wish they will tweak the movement speeds and stuff back just a little bit, back to how it was the first weekend than the second weekend. But otherwise, like I think it's good though. It's a good change. It's something new to try. I still wish we had a little bit more grounded like we did with older Call of Duties, but hey, I'm always down for some new stuff, you know? Always see what sticks and what doesn't. Next thing is these two kind of going together with each other, but the gunplay. I like how the gunplay feels. Weapons feel smooth, the weapons feel good to play. Especially with the new aim assist nerf that we had, like I thought the weapon play felt pretty good. Except the only thing that didn't feel really good was like the snipers, but that's because snipers are hard to use in a game when you have such crazy movement like this. So it definitely brings that skill gap like way up here, like way up here. But I thought it was fun though, and yeah, like the weapons feel good, and then I can move it on to the weapons do feel a bit unique. I like the unique feeling of the weapons, especially with my favorite was the Tonto 22. That thing was fun to use. It was harder to use, but it took a lot. Like you did have to depend a lot more on your movement just because how slow that time to kill was with the 3-shot kill up close, especially it being an SMG. I don't think we've ever had an SMG that's a 3-shot kill in core in Call of Duty ever. Like legitimately, I don't think so. When it's especially in SMGs that shot so slow. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments because I've been playing since Black Ops 1 and I don't remember an SMG shooting that slow. But it's good though. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, especially when I got to the SWAT. The SWAT I absolutely loved. Like that thing felt good to use, especially when you got those one burst kills and you have a slightly higher zoom magnification scope on it, and just ooh, ooh, they felt great though. The SWAT felt absolutely fantastic. Another thing that I do like the perk system that we have. I'm glad we're back to the typical 1, 2, and 3 perks. And then kind of go along with it. I'm happy we have wild cards, but I'll talk more about that later, and you'll see why. But the perks are good. It is cool how we have the new special perk specialty thing. So when you're picking from perks 1, 2, and 3, there's different colors because they're different classes. So all the blue ones were recon, and when you have all 3 recon perks, you essentially got a temporary wall hack essentially. While when you're spawning within a certain distance, to see players through the walls, and it little broken. I'll talk more about that later. But you get to see people through walls first, fresh spawn, and then they got free high alert with it. You know, high alert. I don't know why we still have it. I think it's a dumb thing we have, but hey, to each their own. Next one's Enforcer, my personal favorite, because you got to heal extremely quickly after every kill that you had gotten. And then you also got like a little bit of movement speed buff and then attack sprint speed buff. Like just overall, like meant for really hardcore, like running gun people for that. And then Strategist, which is all the green perks. You got more score bonus, and then you got free engineer with it, which is pretty cool, but I don't think a lot of people used it. But with some of the perks they had on it, though, you can get your streaks like quick with it. and especially if you had perkery with the wild card and you used bankroll, which was a red perk where you got to start with a free 150 score towards your streak. Whew, you can get that quick. Another thing that um, I like how the attachments have basically no cons. Some of them do, like rapid fire, more recoil, and then laser. You know, your laser's gonna be showing extended mag, slow reload. You know, where it makes sense. But it's good to have attachments that don't really have too many negatives anymore. So you know, hey, I can actually use this grip, and it's gonna reduce my recoil, but it's not gonna, you know, all of a sudden like make my hip fire this wide. Different things like that, which I've been so tired of. God, we've been having what since 2019? Tired of that. Like dunzo with that. I just wish we can go back to the old. You only pick one or two attachments, and you have your old pick 10 system. But that's me. I'm old school with Call of Duty. Another thing I actually do like too is that whole meat shield mechanic that you can get with people. It's so much fun with the banter that you can get with back and forth on people when you're talking to each other because you get to it activates that proximity chat with people right there. And it's just like, it's so funny, especially when people found out the whole top comment, oh, that ain't my pistol, boy. It's so much fun to see something like that, though. Like, I have no words to describe it. It's something great for the game. It's something unique that we really haven't seen in any other games, period. So, it's just a fun, good mechanic. All right, for the last thing I wrote down on my list of good here, as you, I wrote a good little chunk here, is this is gonna kind of it segues both like it's good and bad. It segues into it. The aim assist nerf for controller, and I primarily play on controller. I felt the controller felt great playing. Like to be honest, this is one of my favorite Call of Duties where controller felt good to play this year, which is strange. But I get it because of all the different movements and stuff that we've been having differently from year over year. But it's felt good. Like I don't know how else to describe it, but aim assist has felt pretty good for me. And with the nerf that they had, they disabled it when it's like 3 to 5 ish meters away. Your aim assist is completely disabled. The only caveat, this is where I'm gonna go to the bad to it, is I think that aim assist nerf should be applied to SMGs, shotguns, snipers. Oh no, not my dad. SMGs, ARs, snipers, the marksman rifles, things like that. The only thing that aim assist you still should have close range on is pistols and shotguns. That's it. Just because those are the only, besides SMGs, but SMGs you can get away with a little bit more distance. Those are the only two things you only want to use up close, up close. That's like, I would say that's the balancing piece I think they should throw into it. Especially, I like having a pistol as my secondary personally. I would like to have a little bit of help up close, you know, especially when something is semi-auto like that, and how slow that was it. The GS45, that first pistol, how slow that thing shot. You're kind of done for with when you're on controller. Not unless if you're really really good, without being able, you know, without that aim assist. But that's just what I think that should be changed with the whole aim assist nerf at the very least. I'm all down for it. I understand both sides. Like PC players, like controllers, the PC players are like, oh, you could use your whole arm, you know. And then PC players, like, no, you have legal wall hacks or legal aim hacks. You know, it's not like that. Everybody says it is, but it's not. I've been playing this game for way too damn long, and I've never felt that in my entire life playing it. It's oh man, but that's what like the bad I see about the aim assist nerf though, because it does affect a lot of close weapon play, especially with how fast this movement is. We need to have that fine balance, and I'm hoping Treyarch can deliver on that, but we'll see. Alrighty, so I was recording again, and my recording stopped. I guess my software stops at 10 minutes when I record from webcam and talk. Okay. But anyways, let's continue with the bad, how we just started. So, but the first thing I have on here is the classes, but your class setups, but it's the wild cards is what I think is the downside though. Or like in the bad is because wild cards there needs to be some sort of counterplay to it. Some sort of like make you really think like, hey, do I want this on my class or should I build around this? Good example, like perk read for an example. Perk read is probably the best thing, especially the new perk specialty thing right now. You can literally always get that perk setup that you want with the specialty plus something else. Like I always ran all the enforcer perks. It didn't matter which ones I did, and then I would either run ghost or flak jacket on for my extra perk for my fourth perk. As simple as that. But there needs to be some sort of downside to it when you're using something like that. There has to be a fine line of balance. Like with that one, for an example, hey, maybe you get less attachments on your primary. Instead of 5, maybe it goes down to 4. So, hey, you really have to think like, hey, do I want to get rid of optic? Do I want to get rid of a grip? That's one less upside that you get. Or even for an example, with Gunfighter, for an example, you get 2 free primaries basically. So either it should get rid of, take away one of your perks. The sacrifice, you need to have something to sacrifice to make the game balance a bit more better. That's one thing that's always annoyed me of wildcard systems. Especially, I think Cold War was the first one where it didn't have any downsides to it. Well, back then when we had like the pick 10 system, you wanted a wild card, you had to sacrifice an extra point so you can get whatever else you wanted. And so that means you had to sacrifice other things throughout your class. But that's just my thing. There needs to be that sacrificial balance inside your class system in Black Ops 6. That's just my thing, of course. Next thing I have is weapon balance. Weapon balance absolutely sucked that first weekend. The Jackal, that's all you saw. At the beginning of the second weekend, that's all you saw too. It was still pretty strong, but we did get to see some more variety. But I think that's also because it was double weapon XP for basically the whole weekend. But my thing is with betas, they should just unlock all the attachments for everybody and let everybody run rampant. It's literally you try to break the game so they can fix it. Legitimately all it is. that's my main thing. But weapon balance did get better, but assault rifles need to be a little bit stronger though, because they do not feel like assault rifles whatsoever. Like at all. SMGs felt okay for the most part, but they definitely dominated. And they need to buff snipers just a little bit. They feel good to use with snipers, but they're hard to use just because of how fast paced this game is. So snipers can use the little bit of help that they can get. Another thing I kind of felt bad, the game does feel great. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't feel like a Treyarch game though at the same time. Because Treyarch games never had like this tack sprint, never had all this extra movement before, So it's like, I don't know how to describe it. Treyarch has that good charm where, the game's always going to feel good. It's going to be a little bit more competitive, but gunfights are always going to feel the best, Gunfights do feel great, but it's like I said, it doesn't feel like a Treyarch game. Just to me. I even seen some other people talk about it online, where it doesn't have that Treyarch charm, but it's hard to describe about it though. Let me know what you guys think in the comments though. Another bad thing that I have here is tack sprint. With how fast we move and tack sprint feel like it does nothing, just get rid of it, to be honest. I know I said earlier it's cool with the melee weapon having its cool separately so you can get infinite tack sprint. That'd be the only time I think you should be able to have tack sprint. Otherwise, for all your other weapons, your pistols, your assault rifles, that's every other weapon, take tack sprinting out. It is absolutely pointless, in my opinion, because it did not make much of a difference. And that's a big debate online, is everybody just take tack sprint out. We'll be good, and we're already moving all fast enough as is. So, I like that. Another thing that's bad, Killstreaks sucked. Absolutely horrendous. That attack helo that we had, worst thing in the world. The only good kill streaks we had was the chopper gunner and the Hellstorm missile. And of course all the UAVs and stuff. And it also felt like a lot of score to even just be able to get some of those streaks, especially just for like a UAV took like 7 to 8 kills. Depending on the mode you're playing, but still, it took a lot of kills. And I understand they have to keep that perk balance set in mind because you can earn extra score with certain perks. I can't remember the perk name, but you can earn extra score towards non-lethal streaks. And then plus you have the strategist, where a strategist mix if you had all the green perks to earn even extra score, and then plus bankroll, which was a red perk, to start off with more score. So I think that's why it's like that, because of all that extra balance that they had to do. But I just wish kill streaks were stronger. Kill streaks are not strong like what they used to be. It's very, very frustrating. But to kind of continue on now, perk specialties. I think they're cool, but I think they're bullshit. Like, absolutely. Recon, like, bro, why wall hacks? Don't track the people. If you at least want to keep in the game, just a quick scan of where that person is and not tracking them through the wall. Just 1 second of that, and that will give you more than enough info to get that, like, to know where that person is. Especially, I had too many occasions where somebody would, like, I'd just be running, I just killed somebody, and then they spawn near me, and they're pre-aiming, pre-firing around the wall because they know I'm right there. Because of that set of perks. That is the dumbest thing in the world. That's the main, like, enforcer and strategist I'm cool with, you know. Recon needs some tweaking though. And high alert, high alert should only work at certain close enough capabilities, not being able to see people from across the map or be notified from people across the map. That's just me though. I'm tired of high alert as a perk personally. I don't think it ever should have been in Call of Duty, but that's fairly just me. You can let me know as well in the comments. Another thing I think that was bad, it was fun to use, and it was funny to use, but is Sleeper Agent field upgrade. I know, probably controversial with it. A lot of people didn't like. A lot of people liked it. I liked it too because it was fun using it. But I don't think it should be something that we should always use or have around because literally goes back to my whole wildcard system thing. Perk greed, just throw on Vigilance and the thing's countered, and then you kind of have a dead field upgrade. Then you gotta switch it to somebody else, but something else. But still, I think something like that is so cool to do on paper, and it's fun because you can actually talk to the other people in their side of the chat, like mics and stuff like that. I didn't really talk to people because I'm not a big talker whenever I game, to be quite honest. At least game chat wise. I kind of wish I was, but I can't stand just hearing people just drop the N word over and over again because they think they want to be funny. I can't stand stupidity like that. But Sleeper Agent is a cool thing, but once one person uses that perk, it kind of destroys it. So it either should be a kill streak where you can get it and, you know, try to make it to where like that doesn't happen and actually get the better utilization out of it. Or I don't know. I legitimately don't know what else they could do with it. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to use, but not a lot of people are gonna like it, and especially when it comes to newer players, it's gonna make people think that their game is breaking and it's bugging out. So that's something. Let me know what you guys think about the Sleeper Agent field upgrade in the comments, though. I would absolutely love to know, especially if you made it this far, because I know this is gonna be a longer video from how much I've been talking. I'm very opinionated about this beta. Alrighty now. We are now on the ugly of this beta. So, let's start off with the spawn system. It absolutely fucking sucks. It's horrendous. I've never seen a Call of Duty, like a spawn system in any game this bad. Like, what are you supposed to do when you're literally watching each other spawn on top of each other on like Hardpoint, for an example? I don't know what algorithm they have for an example, but Hardpoint's been broken for years now, and they need to fix it. I'm over it. I love Hardpoint as a mode, but they need to fix that shit like immediately. Because the hardpoint spawns are so insanely frustrating, and I always feel like just because how heavy skill-based matchmaking is in gaming nowadays, it's always like whenever I'm trying to play in objective mode, it always favors the other team for them to spawn next to primary objectives while my team spawns on the opposite side of the map, or you both spawn next to each other and you spawn first and then they spawn behind you, so you guys die and then spawn on the other side of the map. That's just my my experience with Hardpoint and just some of these other these modes and gameplay over time. It's just it's very frustrating. They did tweak the spawns a little bit, and they did seem to flip a little bit more appropriately now to where you can actually have a map hold, but still spawns need to be worked on. And I know these maps are small and that's what makes it a little bit more difficult, but still I can go on and on about it, but I'm gonna stop there. With spawns. They're horrible. Next up, this is the one thing that everybody always hears about: skill-based matchmaking. I actually heard, so I can't remember who it was I saw on TikTok, but they brought up a great point. Skill-based matchmaking is probably going to be the most strict thing that we are going to deal with this year because of all the crazy movement that we're going to have. And Nero Cinema, he posted a video of just a brand new account just to see how bad the people were in like those protected lobbies, and like nobody's jumping around, nobody's sliding, nobody's diving, like nobody's doing anything, and he's just kind of roaming and like all free willy nilly, like nothing's happening to him. And it's just like the skill based matchmaking is just so strict to the point to where like all the sweats, of course, are gonna play the sweats, and then the people who are probably having the most fun in the game aren't really worried about that. So it's like oh man, we can all go about skill based matchmaking, and we know it's never gonna go away because it makes Activision a lot of money, unfortunately. But something we're always gonna talk about constantly, over and over and over again. But let's kind of go on to the next point, though. The maps. I absolutely hated the maps. That's like, it's more so their layout. They looked good, but the layout, horrendous. Like, all maps layouts were horrendous. Skyline was probably the most popular one. I thought it was an okay map. Personally, as much as hate, people would probably tell me I like Scud after when they reintroduced it and fixed some of the spots. Scud was the only map where you can get both that close range and long range kind of combat, surprisingly enough. Babylon, you could get some long range combat too, but the spawns were horrendous on it. I actually did like Babylon a lot just because of that. It worked the best for like my long range stuff, weirdly enough. Rewind was a cool map. I like the concept of it, but it's like, it doesn't play well as a map though, especially that center, like, you know, that movie rental store. It doesn't play well at all. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's either too much cover or not enough cover in a lot of different areas of all the maps. And another thing too is there's a lot of places where you can get wall penned at. Like, wall penetration, horrendous on most of the maps. Like, you can get shot through anything. It's like all the walls were made of paper mache, legitimately. Even the strike maps I think sucked. Cold War strike maps are fantastic. I liked them. They were, of course, they were designed for the 2v2, 3v3, 4v4. But when they did them 6v6, like, they were chaotic, but they were the good kind of chaotic though back then. I can't name any of the maps because it's been so long since we've been a Treyarch game, and since the last time I played Cold War. But that's just my opinion with it though. All things aside, that's my opinion. I think the strike maps absolutely sucked, and especially like that one. I don't even remember the name of it because it was so bad. That one where you're in the mines, absolutely. I think it was the pit. Absolutely hated that one. It was especially people just camped the little ladders all the whole time, and like trophy here, and then trying to spam send. Oh my god, frustrating. Of course. Another thing I didn't like at all. I didn't like that kill order mode, where it's basically just take out the VP or high value target. That mode sucked. I understood it was cool. It's cool on paper, but the HVT just needs to chill in the back of the map so spawns don't flip. Other team needs to go out to do the killing, and that's that. And then also, I learned with that, if you're that HVT, you're constantly getting score, and that goes towards your score streak, which is cool, you know? But this good dude got chopper gunner because he was at almost the whole game. That's a problem. So there needs to be some sort of incentive at the very least to where if you want to continue being an HVT, you have to have some sort of consistent like kill upkeep so you can benefit your team a little bit more. At least like my opinion with stuff like that. With it for a game mode, there has to be a little bit more incentive for that gameplay. Another thing on my ugly list that I absolutely despised, the amount of grenade spam that there was. I've never seen this much grenade spam in a Call of Duty before. This shit felt like Halo, and Halo's grenade spam. Like, Semtex. And I also learned today, the last day of the beta, Scavenger resupplied your grenades, and I didn't know that. And especially how fast you also got assault packs and stuff like that. So you have dudes just constantly chucking grenade after grenade on points. It's like, I get it, but like, this is something I've been wanting since Black Ops 4 introduced it. Please add a recharge system. Do not let people at least spawn with things like that, like explosives off spawn, or at least every couple spawns when you die, or you have to resupply it every so often. Like if you want another one and all, it's just oh, that just frustrated the hell out of me. The amount of grenade spam that was in these lobbies, horrendous. Like I don't know, like I can't describe my frustration on it. Legitimately cannot describe it because it was so bad. And then I would probably say the last thing was on ugly was the packet loss or packet burst and all the desyncing that we had this beta. It's to be expected. Connection will get better, but this falls back to the whole skill based matchmaking thing. Make connection like ping is king. You know, please make it ping is king again, and then do your matchmaking balance inside that lobby like how it was done beforehand. We need good connection constantly, and that's one of those things to where, ooh, people they need to show at least like they need. I can't even have words for it. It's annoying. Even like I was running a 13 ping all weekend, but it was a lie though because here's the funny thing. I just had surgery recently, so I was trying to play the beta on my PS5 in my room, and the Wi-Fi isn't as good as my room because it's across my apartment. Lo and behold, I can't do anything because the ping stays at whatever, like it was staying at 15 ping, but when giving a packet burst, no packet loss, wouldn't raise up, but my game be laggy as hell. So the connection was a lie in the game. So that's why there's a lot of desyncing and stuff as well, because it did not tell you your true ping whatsoever, and that frustrated the hell out of me. And when I figured that out, I was like, oh no, this is some BS that needs to be fixed. Like this needs to be fixed, like ASAP. So that's another major ugly to the game. So in the middle of recording that ending, I was almost done with my ending and I threw my notepad on my keyboard and it completely closed it out. Oh, I'm having a horrible day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's what I think about, or like all my feedback essentially for the beta, you know. Things I liked, the things I thought were good, bad, and horrendous. I think that was pretty extensive. Let me know what else you guys think in the comments. I'm still excited for Black Ops 6 to come out this year. However, it's just I'm still going to be very skeptical on what kind of updates they're going to do and everything. I'm excited for camo grinding. This is the one game I'm like, I haven't been this excited for a camo grind in a while. Like legitimately for a while. So I'm hoping for something fun, something a little different. So we'll just have to wait and see, you know. This game is going to be extremely sweaty this year, and that's the one thing I'm not looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to it. But I appreciate everybody. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope if you stuck around, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of the beta, if you did play it or not. Apologize it was this long. I had some words to get out. And that's that. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see some more. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a dislike if you didn't. And hey, follow my TikTok and Twitch. I've been streaming a lot of my TikTok. I do on a daily basis, if you guys don't mind. And pretty soon I should be starting on Twitch as well. Back up on Twitch because I have a couple PCs behind me. I have to fix my wife's, and then I have to set this one up still. Probably once I'm recovered a little bit more from surgery, so I can start dual streaming on TikTok and Twitch. So hope to see you guys there. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Peace.